Hi, Carl here for ProAV TV. I'm at IBC 2017 at the Sony stand, talking to Tom about the new Sony camcorders. Okay, so Tom, what are these?
So here we've got the Z90 and here we've got the HXR-NX80, and they are pretty close to each other. The Z90 is the spiritual successor to the X70, if you like. So the X70, very successful camera, because really what we did was we took a sort of more consumerish handycam type form factor, but put professional connections, put proper buttons, made it into a professional tool.
And a really strong image.
A really strong image, 1-inch sensor, hugely popular, and really people wanted sort of more of the same but better. And that's really where we've got. It's a fairly straightforward product evolution. Z instead of X. Z means it's 4K out of the box. X means it's HD out of the box. Of course, you could upgrade the X70, but the Z90 is 4K straight away. And yeah, then you've got a number of other really nice features. Of course, it's got HD SDI out. It's got proper XAVC, long 422 10-bit recording on the
large one, the Z90.
Exactly. Once you move down to the HXR-NX, like all of the NX cameras, they're XAVC-S codec cameras, and it's just one of our sort of tierings that we have, because a lot of our customers, particularly more at this end of the market, don't have need of 422. Once you start talking to the broadcasters, they do.
So this is 422 8-bit?
422 10-bit.
Oh, nice, nice.
XAVC long is 422 10-bit. 4208 in the NX80. So a little bit less powerful there. But some of the really exciting stuff that we've now got coming into this, and the really sort of clever feature on the Z90 is the 283-point autofocus. Now, you can, for example, define a focus region by just touching the screen, so the screen will allow you to do that, and then it'll track that. Now, with some of the high frame rate capabilities of this camera, so you can do 120p constantly, and if you're doing something like that and you need to keep focus on something that's moving, you've got an animal running or something like that, this autofocus system really makes that possible and makes it pretty straightforward. You just go, that thing, go, and then you're away. So that's...
So in high frame recording, 120 frames a second, you can use full autofocus capabilities?
Yes.
That's quite remarkable. That's not on the competition. It's
very, very clever, and I mean, it's something that we've got in a few of the different cameras now. So you will have seen that, for example, in the A9 and things like that. So that's that kind of mechanism going across the different Sony cameras. So that's a very, very exciting feature for this one.
Because that's always been a bit of the battle with the 1-inch type sensor camcorders, like the Z150, the X70. Cameras like that had a great image, but quite slow autofocus. So if you wanted to use autofocus, which not everyone does, but if you did, then it tended to be not as reliable as they're used to from smaller chip cameras. Absolutely. Would you say this is now better than they were used to?
Yeah, very much so. I mean, this will be, like you say, autofocus isn't for everybody. If it's not, don't use it. But even if you don't generally use it, having it there for that one slow motion shot, that occasional time when you've got to track something, that can be really, really handy. And the other nice thing about this autofocus is we've got different levels within the menus to adjust how aggressively that moves as well. So you can choose a very aggressive or a much more gentle approach to the autofocus shifting. So you can really get a look that's what you're after.
And I think I saw in some of the press stuff that you can lock it onto a person or an object so that it won't swap to what it thinks is better in the background.
Absolutely, that's exactly it. So it can then trace whatever you select and make sure that focus remains on that cluster of pixels, which is really, really clever and incredibly useful.
Cool, thank you for your time.
No problem at all.